Yo, what's up, aliens? AHEE here with another tutorial. So today I wanted to go over how I dissect other people's DJ sets. This is a practice that I do, on a semi-regular basis, not too often, but when I'm in the mode of like wanting to, I guess, learn and how to improve my live sets, I'll do this. I posted a picture about it on my socials last week, and a lot of people were really interested in it, so I was like, all right, let's do a tutorial on it. So I've got this recording of Skrillex's live set at Hijinks in 2019, and I just got it off the internet. Someone had uploaded it from like their iPhone or something like that, or a camera that they had there. So the audio quality is really crummy, but we don't need good audio quality for this. We just sort of need to hear what songs are being played. But also what's important about it being off the iPhone is that I learned recently that in some sets, like people, like the production company will actually add in sound effects after the fact. Like they'll add in crowd noises or those like stadium claps and whatnot to the recording, or even the ksh of like the gas canisters and whatnot. Like they'll add that stuff in, and you'll hear the same ones throughout other multiple artists' sets. And that hey ho, that kind of thing, So this is not that. This is just recorded potato mode onto someone's phone, so we know it's the actual audio coming from the CDJs. So I've broken all these like things in here. It looks super complicated, but it's not real. Well, it is, but it isn't. It's just me coming up with like a blank MIDI track. I'm hitting Shift Command M, adding in a blank MIDI track, and I'm like color coding it just to give myself some organization and to like visualize what's going on. So I've broken this down into several different things. Like I've got the key of the song. I have the song type, which I've labeled up here as like, dubstep, future bass, experimental, hip hop, and then like ravey kinds of stuff. And then there's a few others. And then here I've got like the vocals, like what kind of vocals are going on, whether it be like vocal chops, emo rap, hype vocals, or pop music or whatever. And then I've got some other info in here that's like, I started to notice in this that he adds this same clap sample in so many songs in here, and I'll get more into that later. But I just wanted to keep track of that, as well as like what kind of thing was going on during the verses, like not during the drops. So some extra info there. And so I lined up the first part to the grid here, which it started at 150, and it basically goes at 150 this entire time. But he does go off the grid because I'm pretty sure he might have sync on, but he must turn it off at some point because I think he messes up a transition, or it's just like it's not perfectly synced. And so it gets off time like later on. And I've only done the first 25 minutes of this live set. I've done other ones where I do the full hour. But yeah, this is just the most recent one. Yeah, let's dive in and learn some stuff. This video is going to get demonetized, so I'll just play the audio. So we've got this epic intro. Got someone saying Skrillex, and then that his most recent track, that Garlic Naan. And so it's like a pretty short intro here. He gets to the first drop within 45 seconds. And there you can hear that's not in the original track, I don't think. I gotta double check that. But here, this is the first thing that I noticed was during this build-up. You think it's going to go into something. Oh, there, where Skrillex says something. So this is a Jens and John's remix of VIPs Must Die. But the thing is that it's different from their song. So the original remix is like this. And listen to this. That bit right there, but let's listen to that in the live version. Listen. That dun 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 is not there in the original track. So he's playing edits, and I found that every single one of these songs is an edit. He doesn't actually play the actual songs out. He only plays out edits for an hour. It's all, like, I've done this for other things too. He does sometimes play out a full song if he's just released it. But almost everything is edits in here, which is just mind-bogglingly a lot of work, which is awesome. I dig that a lot. And here you can hear this part's a bit different too. He adds that Lil Jon sample right there, and then here in the original track it's sort of similar, but he edited it, and then he puts in a new vocal sample there. Also, what's interesting is that this track, the build is just unlike anything there. So it's like familiar build, unexpected drop. That's a huge formula right there. And also this drop is only how many bars is that? 16 bars? Yeah. The drops are only 16 bars in almost every case in here. So the original track actually has 32 bars of a drop and then goes into the breakdown over here. And the breakdown even, it's not... Here, let's listen here. See, it goes into this like clapping bit again there. And there's like a psh. But it's like here, if we listen to the breakers, it's unlike that at all. So he's not using the breakdown of this to go into the next track. He's literally just playing 16 bars of the drop and then creating an impact swishy sound and then going to the next verse. And that was another thing I really noticed, is that he has this formula of playing about 16 bars of a verse, 8 bars of a build, and then 16 bars of a drop. And that pattern changes a bit. Like here's a drop, and then it's 8 bars of a verse / build, and then another 16 bar drop. But then this drop sort of extends over while there's a verse happening. I guess we got to listen to make this make sense. So yeah, here's the... So there's that clap sample added in there again. That's not in the original song. So he's got a vocal chop going over that song. And then, yeah, break. This is like the original song. But also this song, was that Mumbai Power? Yeah. So that original song is at 140 BPM and he's playing it at 150 here. You know, it sounds sped up a little bit. But that's 10 BPM increase, and it just works for this set and for the hype of it. I also thought it was interesting that almost always in his sets, he has a really crazy, unexpected, heavy drop first, and then here he goes into a more melodic section. Man, look how many drops are happening. So in the first 5 minutes, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, almost 4 or 5 drops in the first 5 minutes of his set, you know? It's going by very quickly. Also, I noticed that it starts out in F and then it goes up to a G sharp here. And so we're in F minor here at the beginning, but then he goes to a major, G sharp major, which G sharp major is also a flat major. So on the Camelot wheel, it actually is sort of, it's in the same, it just works harmonically to be able to transition from F to G sharp major or A flat. And that's what we see right here. I find that super interesting. So he's mixing in key this whole time. And then here he goes for, this is more continuation of the song, G sharp major. And then he does this. So still that vocal chop. And then it's going to go into something unexpected. You can hear the crowd just going nuts. Yeah, and so this, I think it's a peekaboo beat, and it's the two root notes for the song. It alternates between C sharp and C, and this is super interesting because C sharp is, I think, a fifth related to G. It's going up a fifth, or let's see, to get to C sharp or D flat. So we're just moving one up the wheel there. But what's interesting in the song is it alternates between C sharp and C. So it's like da, 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 da the whole time. And then from there, the alternate note, it ends on a C. And so he's able to key switch out from C sharp to C. Here is so interesting. You can hear some emo rap a cappella over the top of it. So yeah, in a way that's sort of like a 16-bar verse. Now it's all in C right now. And there he adds the clap sample back in. Someone asking for a lighter. Yeah, goes back into melodic. Everyone's going nuts, and that's in C. That's the remix for Pendulum, I believe. But then, I think that's the released drop. See, there's that clap sample again. I'm telling you, this clap sample is everywhere. Okay, and then also this is something I noticed. Skrillex always says bounce squad or whatever city's in. Let me see the bounce squad or whatever. Whenever he's about to play some super ravey shit, you'll see what. So yeah, what I refer to as ravey shit, it's it's sort of like oh God, I'm blanking. Like a Baltimore club, where it's the dun 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 the kind of beat. Yeah, I love that kind of beat so much. Yeah, he goes from there, but then he's able to transition from C into F, which is perfect fourth. Which that's like going on the wheel the other way, I believe. So if we go from C major to F. Yep, just moving over. So he's mixing in key on all this, which is pretty cool. So yeah, here he's like mixing like twerk vocals with his piano from I forgot the song. Call 911. And here you think it's about to drop, but then he does a fake drop. So here you can see that's where the first breaking of the verse build drop pattern. So you've got two builds there. and an unexpected drop. Yeah, super cool. And then also I want to point out here, it seems like this whole section here is like a run that he's done before. Sometimes I'll hear similar sequences in his live sets, but also I wanted to point out that he doesn't really talk that much. I have these little blips here when he's talking, these little green things, and he talks to say hello, he talks to warn everyone they're about to go into some ravey shit, and then during this section he really just lets the music talk. And even though that was 5 minutes of no talking, something like that, so it's not that much. And then he starts to talk a bit more when he's transitioning between sections. Like you can see here, I don't know if he's planning this or if this is just something I'm noticing. You know, when he starts to go in between keys, he's like talking to switch it up. And then somewhere around here, there's like a weird edit where it's, yeah, I'll play that bit later. But yeah, he goes along in F for a while there. The Justin Bieber tune, but then he drops it into some trap. I guess I'll play it. Sounds like some Jack U stuff, like maybe a Jack U ID that they never released. Yeah, more Justin Bieber. Break. Now ravey stuff. You know, familiar verses and builds, unexpected drops. Or the opposite. So, some torquey. And then some space laces. And here he's talking a bit. This is where I think he messes up a little bit. I think he goes over 2 bars. And then goes more into ravey stuff. And he's always talking. He's trying to hype people up, you know, before the ravey stuff. And then goes into some rap. So let's listen to this track. Super smooth transition from the key of F to the key of D. Again, harmonically, I'm pretty sure that, yeah, F to D minor, F major to D minor, that works amazing. And then again, from the rap. Unexpected, trappy, ravey stuff. And then some more pop. And here, this is a pretty long verse, but you know, it still follows that pattern of 16 bar verse, 8 bar build, 16 bar drop. And then this is this is my sound design, y'all. Oh my goodness. The ravey lead in this, Henry Fong used one of my samples to create that. Skrillex is playing it out. Ah! Ah! Makes me so happy every time I listen. So yeah, hyping everyone up before him. It makes me so happy. Yeah, what is that? Rave Tool. Yeah, more hype, and then second drop. That's my sound design. Thank you, Henry. Mr. Fong. Okay. So yeah, from there, and then Is this where the weird transition is? Yeah, then he goes into... I can't remember what this song... Come on, someone tell me. Ain't no mountain high. You see, they're trying. Enough. Yeah, that song. I cannot remember. Is it Jackson 5? I can't remember. But I think that was really interesting. Like the most ravey song, Potato, you know, going into this like super catchy pop song from the 70s, I'm guessing. But then building that up into more Space Laces. I think that's Space Laces. But it's got like the top of Slam Dunk with Skrillex and Valentino Khan on it. And then look, here's that freaking clap sample again. It's the same one throughout like all these transitions. Oh yeah, here's another one of those things where he's going from B to D, and in the Space Laces song it's going from D to D sharp. D sharp, D sharp, at least in the bass, and so he's able to get from D to D sharp and then exits out of D sharp. I just think that's such a cool thing, like paying attention to using some songs that alternate between just two notes that are like more darker to be able to transition key out of the last note into the key of the new song. Yeah, it just sounds really cool. Yeah, and here he moves up one, which is not the most harmonically in tune, but it works because it's on a transition. And it does break down right there. So this is a pretty long verse right here. Got that emo rap. Does he talk here? I think, yeah. Yeah, he's telling everyone to be best friends. Yeah, which is, you know, it's bringing everyone together, which is great. But then he goes into a melodic drop. You know, celebration vibes. You know, it sounds so much like, the rap sounds like Sicko Mode, but in a major key. Trips me out. Yeah. And then I stopped doing as much. Yeah, that's a familiar drop. But done in a unexpected way, which I think is really cool. And here, there's a few more edits, but I stopped doing the key at this point. That clap sound, it's not in the original song. He adds that clap in all these different places. Look at all these places. This little pinkish thing adds it in all over the place. And that's just the first 25 minutes. Oh yeah, this one's cool. He like does the second drop into like a, I don't know, some worldly version of the melody. Again, unexpected drop. You know, familiar. Everyone knows this song, Humble. He adds that clap in. That clap's not in the original song too. Keep on saying that. That's what y'all gonna learn. Add claps. Again, this time 8-bar verse, 8-bar build. And then the ravey version of it. Recorded on a Potato. Back to the original. And then But then he drops into that track with oh, come on, it's such a good track, Troy Boy. There we go. Yeah, and then here goes from there, goes into this experimental drop. Again, adds the clap. You know, but he's adding in a lot of those little, that yacht, you know, like that's not in the original song. So he's like creating a unique build, sometimes out of the previous song, adding in unique drop vocals and then dropping into something unexpected, you know? So like giving you something familiar, going into something unexpected. Yeah, so oh yeah, here at the top, I don't know if I explained this, I hope it was sort of somewhat apparent, but the V is verse, B is build, D is drop, and yeah, it's just this pattern that goes, and you can see some variations. And so the point is not to do this with every Skrillex thing, but to do it with your favorite DJ's set, and to go through with this mentality and looking for these kinds of things. And I think you'll learn a lot from that process, like looking at the key of each song. Sometimes what helps is putting a tuner here on the actual track so you can see the bass, but it doesn't always help you. Sometimes I have to go and Google what the key is, but also like Googling it doesn't always tell you what the correct key is. And so sometimes I'll get like the built-in grand piano in Ableton and just figure out the key by ear. Good ear practice too. Yeah, and then I'll go through and sort of color code like the type of music so I can see like what kind of variations, like, oh, he's going from like heavier stuff to like more melodic stuff to deeper to melodic to ravey, you know, he's switching it up quite a bit, and always trying to keep the listener guessing of what's going to happen next, which is just very entertaining. And then, yeah, adding in a lot of acapellas, and a lot of samples like that clapping, you know, just to keep the energy going during those down breakdowns. Yeah, and then I like to sort of keep a track of how much someone actually talks during the set, and like why they say something, because you don't want to just like be talking over the set. You want to have a reason of like why you're saying something, if you want to talk at all. Usually it's trying to hype people up or trying to like bring people together, let people know that something crazy is about to happen. All right, again, if y'all like this, please give it a like and subscribe, and maybe hit that bell for notifications for future tutorials with me, AHEE. Also, y'all know I have a bunch of Ableton Magic Racks, and also Serum presets and my Magic Ableton templates that I use, that I sell on my Gumroad. I'll be putting those up in the description where to get those, if you haven't already. Seems like a lot of y'all really appreciate those, so I appreciate y'all supporting me, and I could not do this without y'all. All right, I'll talk to y'all soon. Peace, aliens.